many here come from a hand-raising church? How many don't come from a hand-raising church? Raise your hand. I see some of you out there, you're going, get some momentum here. Whoa! Oh, the church that I come from, we have so many different ways to raise their hands. Some were very expressive, some were very subtle, which is all okay because we all worship in our own way. Because there's so many, we named the different ways to raise your hands. Now, we start out very subtle. Some people, they hands in their pockets. They just slap their hands. You know, very, very subtle. That's okay. That's okay. Church gets to rocking, you know, they start to expand a little bit. So the next one we have is carry the TV. Carry the TV. And once you get going, carry the widescreen. Carry the widescreen. The next one, hold my baby. Hold my baby. Okay. After hold my baby is goalpost. Every one of those goalposts. Put a little heartburn with it. Back to goalpost. Double heartburn. Back to goalpost. My favorite, Mufasa. Mufasa. Oh, Mufasa. They say, can you get any higher? Well, yes, you can. With one hand. You can go pointer, hatchet, schoolroom. And while you're out there, ladies, here we go. Wash the window. Wash the window. There you go. Wash the window. And then while you're up there, release the dove. You've got a high five. And then once you get real expressive, the final three are Village People, Rocky, touchdown. There they are. Now, Florida is known as what? A retirement state. Second or third Sunday I was here, Bishop asked me, he says, are you retired? I said, yes, I'm retired. I was tired yesterday. I'm tired of being back. But I'm retired. Because this is a retirement state and I'm retired, my wife and I, we sit out on the front porch in our rocking chairs. Cool of the day, sun going down, it's real nice. My wife looks over at me and she says, you don't be nice about now. I said, no, what? And she said, if I had a dish of ice cream. And I looked at her and I said, that's a great idea. I'll get up and go get us some. So I got up out of my rocker and headed for the front door and she stops me. She says, since you're going to get us some ice cream, she says, why don't you put some whipped cream on it with some sprinkles and put a cherry on the top? I looked at her and I said, that's a great idea. I'll do that. So I'm headed for the door a second time. She stops me a second time. She says, you want me to write that down for you? You know how you tend to forget things. I said, no, I can remember that. I'm going in the house. Well, about 30 minutes later, I come back out.
30 minutes later.
I set down a plate of bacon and eggs. And she looks at it, shakes her head in disgust, and she says, I knew it. I knew I should have wrote that down for you. You forgot the toast. last one. Driving through the neighborhood, and I ran over a cat. It was horrible. So I saw some neighborhood kids playing in the front yard. Stopped the car and I went over and asked them. I said, "Do you know who the owner of this cat is?" They said, "Oh yeah, the lady that owns that cat. She lives in that house over there." So I went out and knocked on the door. Lady come to the door and I told her, I said, "I hate to tell you this, but I think I ran over your cat." She says, "You did? How do you know it's my cat?" "Well, those kids over there playing in the front yard, they said it was your cat." "Well, what did it look like?" I said, "It looked like this." And she said, "No, what did it look like before you ran over it?" I said, "Well, before I ran over it, it looked like this."